Okay, we are live. So we'll just give it a sec for people to jump on in on our Sunday night stream. That we got our regulars, so that's always lovely. And I realized today that I haven't updated my story time channel in a while. So that is definitely on the list. Got to get back and finish Charlotte's Web, which I realized that I have been avoiding for many reasons, but one of them being that she dies. And I always cry, and I don't really know if I can get through reading it without crying. So that is on my list now. And then I want to move on to other books. So if you have any other books that you want me to read, I'm thinking maybe some Narnia after that. But we'll have to see how that cookie crumbles. Oh, we got one person in here. Say hello in the chat so I can say hi, whoever you are. Katie! Yay! Hi, Katie. I'm good. How are you doing, babe? I got to have a ribeye for dinner, so I am doing fabulous. I really feel so grateful. You're doing good? Okay, good. How's your recovery going? I hope you're able to work from home and not have to worry about going into the office and everything. That's so stressful. I can't imagine if I had to do that while I was recovering from this surgery, because also I had to have my leg up all the time. Like, how would you go back to work after that? Just sit at a desk with your leg elevated? That would be a little bit ridiculous. Is it still like 80 degrees, Katie, in Kansas? I was talking to somebody in Colorado, and they were like, "Oh yeah, it's super, super warm," and people are like walking around, and it should not be this warm in winter. David says, "Hello, sweet cheeks. How are you?" I'm good, David. How are you doing? How's Northern England treating you, David? Or no, Liverpool. You're in Liverpool, right? Katie says, no, this weekend was around 30 Fahrenheit. Oh, that's cold. Okay. Okay, so then at least you're getting some winter. We're getting back to a little bit of normal. It makes me uncomfortable when it's like shorts and t-shirts in February. I'm just like, that's weird. Unless you're down south. I don't know. David, how's Liverpool treating you? How's the Liverpudlian life? Katie says the cold makes me happy. Aw. Yeah, it's nice to have a change of seasons, I think. Some people everyone who lives somewhere with a season is like always complaining about it. But then if you move somewhere that has no seasons and the weather's always amazing, then like I feel like you would miss it a little bit. I don't know. David says, I'm great, thanks. Liverpool won today, so I'm buzzing. Missed you last week. Yeah, I noticed you weren't here last week, David. We missed you too. Liverpool won soccer? Football? Is that what you're talking about? Or is it some other sport? I'm just finding out what a big deal soccer/football is to people in the UK because I'm watching the Wrexham documentary, and people are just it's like an attachment. Yes, football. Okay, so they won their soccer game today, and you're buzzing, and buzzing means happy, right? Like you're like super happy? Okay. Like excited? Um, I did not know what a big deal. I knew soccer was a big deal like in the world, but I didn't understand it until I started watching that documentary and realizing like what it means to people like in the UK. It's like their community. It's like they're out there in the cold, they're out there rain or shine. They like there's like some sort of like spiritual investment or whatever, not to mention financial. Their friends are there. It's like a thing that everybody talks about. Is that what it's like in Liverpool too, David? Is it like a big community thing and everybody in Liverpool like votes for the same team and they like get really excited about that same thing? Wade's here. Hi, Wade. Welcome in. Wade says, I like changing seasons, but I'm ready for springtime. Katie says, hey, Wade. You two are so cute together. Yeah, I could see you being ready for spring. I could totally see that, Wade. And you're gonna get your tomatoes going, get your plants going. Wade, how was your week? I didn't get a chance to ask you. And also, David, how was your week? Oh, Wade says, hey, Katie. You guys are so cute. Um, yeah, so anyway, my point is about football in the UK, soccer, is that it's like almost a religious thing. And I love the idea of it being like this unifying force without it actually being a religion. Because there's been a lot of wars of religion, and we don't need any more. Hi, Susan. Susan says, hi, Helmi. Wade says he has a good week. It was short. I took Friday off. Ooh, what'd you do with your Friday off? I used to take a Friday off and then just do laundry and like catch up on housework and put my feet up and just have a day of like not having to do that much. But what did you do, Wade? I hope it was more exciting than that. Um, Susan says, hi, Wade, Katie, and David. Everybody's getting a shout out. Katie says, Kansas City is a host city for World Cup soccer. I don't even know what to expect. I don't know what to expect either. That's wild. Hi, Kim. Katie says, hi, Susan. Katie says, hi, Kim. Oh my God. Everyone's just like, I love how you guys have your little, our little community in here. I also did not know until a few months ago what a big deal regular football is, American football is to Americans. Also, kind of a religious thing, also a thing they do on Sundays. Um, so it's just fascinating what people get up to. David says, oh, it's massive here. Such history in Liverpool. I've had a busy week, never stopped raining here, unfortunately. Oh, that is unfortunate. In fact, I'm building an ark at the moment. Everybody welcome. Oh my God, that much rain, eh? Because it's not cold enough for it to snow, I guess, right, David? In Liverpool, we're getting snow here. Like it's cold enough for snow. Um, Wade said that's basically what you did laundry and you did the dishes and you caught up and you put your feet up. Okay. I just found that like when you take a Friday off, it's fine as long as you're not like burnt out already from the week. And if you are, then you're just like, I just want to be basic, like get my basic human needs met. Um, yeah. So Susan says our group of Helmi groupies. Kim says, Katie, my job has told us that we can't take any time off during FIFA. Kim, aren't you in Texas? Is FIFA in Texas? Kim says, hi, lol. Katie says, I'm so sorry, Kim. I told my boss I wanted to work from home during the World Cup so I could avoid traffic. He just laughed at me. Wait, so the World Cup is happening in the US? Like I don't know enough about the World Cup, but like, isn't there a bunch of different games? Like, so some of the games are happening in the US or all of them are happening? And how can they be happening in Kansas and Texas at the same time? Can someone explain, please? Oh, it's all over the US. Okay. So multiple games all over the US. And so all the World Cup players are traveling to the US to do this? Oh, Susan Googled it. Okay. 2026 FIFA World Cup will be held June 11th to July 19th across 16 cities. Wow. Anthony's here. He says, hi, Helmi groupies. Hi, Anthony. How was your week? How are you doing? Is it still flu season? How's flu season? David said the games are happening all over America and I think Canada too. Okay, but David, you're not talking about World Cup because that's not on. You're talking about regular UK football season. And Dallas is the FIFA broadcast headquarters. Okay, I didn't think the US was that into soccer. Is it like a big deal now? 6 games in Toronto? Okay. Katie says, "Hey Anthony, did you get any babies named after you?" Oh my god. Because that's a job thing that could happen. Like that's like a work hazard he has to deal with. I don't think I'll ever have that kind of legacy. I don't think anyone's out there naming their daughters Helmi. Um yeah, so David says, I hope you will support England, Helmi. No, it's World Cup football, like the British one. Oh, okay. Sure, I'll support England. That sounds fun. As a country in the World Cup, yeah. But the World Cup is in the summer. So what's going on now then, if it's in the summer? Yeah, definitely. Sure, I'll support England. Well, I'm not supporting Canada. Does Canada have a soccer team? Hmm. Oh my God, I watched the US Canada hockey game this morning. That was rough. I actually like needed a minute after to grieve. It felt very similar to the World Series. And I think it's just sometimes we want them to win so bad that then it's too much. And I should have just like released attachment to the outcome and not needed them to win. Like Canada lost to the US, which is like embarrassing when it comes to hockey. Like how did we lose at hockey? Um but I get it. I get the whole nationalism thing. I don't like nationalism as a general rule. I find it divisive. But but today it hit me. I was like, oh no, I'm part of it. Um, Kim says yes, it's in June and July. Okay, so everybody's just kind of gearing up for this. Gotcha. Kim, how was your week? How was the airport treating you? Hopefully better. Um, Susan, how was your week? Also, I didn't ask you that. Did you have a good week now that you're back and you're like adjusting to winter? David says, have loved the Winter Olympics. I'm guessing hockey in Canada is similar to football in the UK. If you mean that everyone in Canada was watching that game this morning, then yes, it was the gold medal game. And they were showing it at church. And where I'm from is like a very specific part of Nova Scotia. It's called Cole Harbor, not where I'm from, but where I live is Cole Harbor. And that's where Sidney Crosby's from. He actually lives like one street away. Like his parents, like where he grew up, is one street away. For Sidney Crosby, if you know hockey, and Nathan McKinnon and Marchand, they're all from like this little tiny part of Canada, and everybody here was showing it. The church that is in the neighborhood that they grew up in showed it like at church time, like Sunday morning. They were playing the game in the church. Like the congregation was in the church watching the hockey game on the big screen in the church. That's like so that sounds kind of religious actually now that I say that. So it's nice to have so I think David that is similar to the UK, isn't it? That like that's how much everybody's watching it. Anthony says yes, Anthony the second, like like that's the name they would name the kid after you. Anthony the second. Oh my god. Um, Kim says the airport's horrible, but work continues to be an absolute nightmare. Okay, well, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, I'm not surprised because they suck, but we got to get you a better job, girl. Get you out of there. I'm sorry, Kim. That's so stressful. The difference between having a job you hate and having a job that you love is like a massive difference in quality of life. So I've been in jobs I've hated, and just everything feels hard. And then I've been in jobs I loved, and you're just like light as air. Like you're like excited and rejuvenated by it. Katie's laughing at Anthony the second. That is a funny name. I think would it be like yeah, it would be like the Roman numerals, the I, Tony the second, Tony two. Susan says, still trying to address the list of to-dos in my office. I've now named the black hole. But I'm not stressing about how long it takes to do things. Still feel the island vibe. Oh my God, island time. It's like a whole thing. Like I said, my brother was born in Barbados and we went there and like they're just not concerned about time. They're just like, it just takes what it takes. Anthony says they opened Scotiabank Arena today. Oh, so people could watch where the Leafs play. Do they sell tickets to that? Like you could go into the hockey arena and watch the game on the like jumbotron or whatever. That's cool. See, and it's the same thing as David was saying in Liverpool. Like you want to what I love about England is they go to the pub and they watch it all together and they go to the pub like a lot and then everybody's like it's like a home away from home kind of thing. But I love like a place where you can go and do these things as a group, you know? Like you get to go and be um connected to that experience, like together. It's a collective experience. David says, wow, that's amazing. My sister used to be married to a Canadian lad from Wikipedia. From Wikipedia. And he used to say how the community used to look after each other. Yeah, like it's just, I just love that. I love that like small town thing where everybody supports each other. Like here, you could knock on anybody's door and be like, I need help, and they would come and help you. Like it's a real like neighbor kind of vibe. Kim says, I'm trying. I know you're doing great. Um, Kim, did you hear back from the that other job? Anthony says charge $15 a seat for charity. Oh, well, if it's for charity. If the money's actually going to charity, then that's good. Um, Anthony says they started serving alcohol in Toronto at 6 a.m. Oh man. Yeah, they applied for okay, I assumed it wasn't Wikipedia. I assumed it was Winnipeg, David. I was like, I don't think anyone's from Wikipedia. Um, but yeah, Winnipeg is like a same thing as Halifax, like a smaller town. Um, yeah, so yeah, here they applied for liquor licenses to be like much earlier in the day. I don't know how many of them got approved, but they tried. They definitely tried. And I used to drink a lot and I would totally be the person we called it pre-drinking, which doesn't really make any sense, but that's what we called it. Pre-drinking was drinking before the event, and then you would drink at the event, and then you would drink after the event. So it was just like session drinking, like long, long, long drinking for like hours and hours and hours. And yeah, it's a difficult thing to pace. So I definitely did not pace it well. And I would be like the obnoxious person who was like too drunk by the time the game came along or whatever the event was. Um, Kim says no, and I've applied to multiple others too. Still waiting to hear back. That's weird. Um, yeah, I don't know. Do people still call? Is that still a thing? I feel like they've got AI algorithms like sorting through this stuff. David says he told me if anybody got into financial trouble, the whole community would hold maybe a party and the whole proceeds would go to the person in trouble. See, that's what I love. I love that, David. Yeah, like if I was like if people were hungry and you just like knocked on a door and said like I'm really hungry, like they'd probably give you food. Like it's just that kind of community. I love that, David. Think about how like held you would feel if you could just be like, "Hey guys, I need help." And then the community would be like, "That's okay, we'll help you." You know? Like that's what we're made for. This whole hunter gatherer thing, that's what we evolved from, and we're meant to like be connected in groups and communities and like help each other. Like we're not meant to like survive by ourselves. Oh yeah, like the stream please. If you haven't already. I'm supposed to get better at remembering that. Navia says, "Hi Helmi, I'm back. Hi, how's it going?" Navia, aka Heaven Backwards. Have you been, girl? Anthony says, please tap that like button. Yep. We just remembered that. David said, wish the whole world was like that. Such a shame. Yeah. I wish the whole world was like that too, David, but I think we're doing it. You know? I think we're like look at us. Like we've got this little community on Sunday nights and we're just like supporting each other and how was your week and what's going on and where do you need a boost? And Wade says hi to everyone and then everyone says hi to Wade. You know, like I feel like even though the whole world's not like that right now, like we're creating little pockets of it. And I think it's like a little mini version, you know, of what it all needs. And I want to be a part of that. David says, yes, it's fantastic. Love it. Yeah. Okay, I'm just looking at I just noticed on my camera, you can see that uh I have two paintings of the Northern Lights because I ordered two of them because I couldn't decide. Maybe I'll put it to a vote for you guys of which I'm gonna keep both of them, obviously. Anthony says I have extra oxygen if anyone needs some. Like instead of food, you have extra oxygen. Oh my god. That's a paramedic joke. I love that. Okay, you guys can help me decide. First one. Oh, hang on. Hang on. Is this one. Wow, I really can't figure out how this angle goes. There we go. It's hard when it's all mirrored. Okay, that's one. Did everybody get a good look? Hang on, let me try and turn. Nope, this way. Nope, this way. It's really hard to do on the mirror. It's like a mirrored screen. Okay, everybody get a good look at that one? Okay, and then the last one, you should be able to just look over my shoulder. Can you see that one down there? Okay, so which one do we like better? Wade says, I still believe there's more good than bad. Absolutely, Wade. Absolutely. We just don't hear about the good as much. You know, that's the only problem. Susan says, beautiful. They look great. And my top matches. Okay, that's true. I didn't even notice that. Oh my God, my top does match. That's amazing. Susan says, the first one. David says, they look great. I thought I had the Northern Lights where I live, but I found out they were special lights in greenhouses near me to help the plants grow. You know what? That's something I would do. That's a mistake I would make. Like I would just be like, "Oh, it's aliens or whatever." And then it'd be like, "No, it's just a regular thing." Susan says I like the lake in the first one. Wade likes the second one. Anthony likes the first one. Kim loves both. Katie likes the first one. Okay. Yeah, they are a little bit similar. Maybe I'll put them like one on top of the other. Do you think this is gonna fall? It's probably gonna fall. It's definitely gonna fall, but that's okay. Okay, so now we can do a full comparison. There we go. Okay, now that we see them together, fuck, I knew that was gonna happen. Oh my god, whatever. It's just canvas. It's fine. David, anyway, okay, David, you know what's funny about that is that there are what is it? Elon Musk has this thing called Starlink, and it's like satellites through the sky, and every summer people call 911 thinking that it's aliens and it's Starlink. And then there's another, I think it's usually Venus, like once a year Venus comes like really close to Earth, and people call 911 being like it's aliens, and then 911 is like it's Venus, you're going to be okay. I just think like I would be like, I have concerns. I would like someone to tell me that this is not the lake or the lights I think it is. So I've definitely been there, David. Okay, so 1, 2, 1, 1. Now Susan changed her mind. Now she likes the second one. David says, I've seen them. Yeah. The Northern Lights the reason why I have so many Northern Lights paintings is because I've seen the Northern Lights in person several times. Like I'm so lucky. I saw them in Alaska. Well, not Alaska, the Yukon. And I saw them in Northern Ontario a couple times, and I saw them in Nova Scotia. So I've seen them several times, like 4 times at least, and it is the most incredible, beautiful. It's like science plus magic plus fairy tales. Like that's what the Northern Lights are. Like it's just incredible. And every time I saw them, and I would like lay out there on a chair and stare at them, and they just dance across the sky just for hours. And I have my tattoo that is the Northern Lights tattoo. So I just have a thing with the Northern Lights. And I bought one, and then I found another one, and I was like, I don't care, I'm buying 2. Can I put them near each other, do you think? Like if they were in the same room, is that too much Northern Lights? I was thinking of putting them both in here. Katie says, I like number 1 because it is different from most Northern Lights I see. Yeah, I like it because it's a lot of times the lights are super green, and this is more like blue and purple. And you guys know how much I love purple. Okay, both in the same room. Okay, because I think they might both go in here. Susan says, I want to see them, the Northern Lights. It's on my bucket list. And Kim says as well, yeah. And you don't have to go that far north to see them. Like it really depends on like the weather and where you are. I couldn't believe, I mean, I knew going to the Yukon, like out near Alaska, like the odds would be good, but I've seen them much, much further south than that. So, David says, I can see Blackpool Tower where I live, and every year they have illuminations. Ooh, they have lasers that streak across the sky, and people see them from miles away. People were ringing 911 or 999 in the UK. Yeah, so they're like alarmed. They don't know that it's happening, and then they're like, oh my God, are you guys aware of this? Ruse is here. Hi, Ruse. Good evening to you too. They're ringing 911 saying we're getting invaded like by aliens or by like humans. I guess it doesn't matter at that point. An invasion is an invasion, right? Okay, Kate. Okay, I think we need to do like a trip to see the Northern Lights. The only problem is I've been to Iceland too, and I didn't see them in Iceland because the problem with Iceland is if it's cloud cover, then you don't really see them, right? So and that's the hard thing with Nova Scotia too, that like if it's cloudy, which it often is in Iceland, and oh, they thought it was aliens, David. Did they really? See, people get nervous about this kind of thing. I understand. So yeah, so then it ends up depending a lot on the weather the day of, or if you go for a week or whatever. So there's nowhere that you can be like, oh, I'm gonna go see the Northern Lights, and you'll definitely see them, you know? So then it's harder to plan. Susan says, don't they have like ice cube igloos? Yeah, they do in that you can stay in and watch the Northern Lights. They do in Iceland for sure. It's just, and they do in Alaska and in the Yukon. But it's just, is it going to be cloudy or is it going to be clear? And if it's clear, then you have a much better chance of seeing them. And then again, depends on the season. Because when I was in the Yukon, I went up to a place called Dawson City, which is super, super north. I think it's the northernmost city in North America, maybe the world. Maybe Russia has some that are a little further north. And we went in the summer, went in August, and it was like broad daylight at midnight and like 2 in the morning. So like there's a very little dark sky. So it's again, it's hard to see them because the sun is there all the time. And then in the winter, you have a better chance of seeing them. But who wants to go that far north in the winter? And I think in Iceland, you'd have to go see them in the winter. I'm not sure. I don't think you could see them. I don't know. It's a tricky thing. That's why it's magical, right? Because there's nowhere where you can be like, oh, I'm going to Mexico, and then you've like been to Mexico. But if you say I want to go see the Northern Lights, I mean that's an adventure, and you don't know how that cookie's gonna crumble. My ideal would be to see the Northern Lights like sitting in a hot spring in Iceland. I think that would just be like the most magical way to do it. Anthony says blood moon occurring March 3rd. Oh, we're up to another full moon already. Around 6 a.m. in Canada, the moon will appear reddish. Don't call 911. I'm busy enough. Do people call 911 for a blood moon, Anthony? Do they really? A blood moon, I feel like, is pretty common. That happens like quite a bit, doesn't it? People still panic. Susan says they have made it down to where I live near north of Sacramento in California, and people have gotten great pictures. Whoa, that's really far south. Like in California, they went all the way down to California, and people have gotten great. I was up till 1 trying to find them, but no joy. Ugh, isn't that awful when you're trying to, and it's like way past your bedtime, and you're like, please come out because I'm tired. I used to do a lot of stargazing, and in the summer you have to wait until it gets really dark to be able to see everything. And in the winter, it's like you can go out at 6 p.m. and see whatever you want. But in the summer, you have to wait till like 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock at night. And it's just like, you're like, it's cold and I'm up past my bedtime. Like, come out here so that I can go back to sleep. But then I would get to see the Milky Way, which is always there, if you were wondering. The Milky Way is always there. And then that gives sort of a consolation prize, like if you see nothing but the Milky Way, you're in for a good time. You're in for a good night. It's and here I live like 10 minutes from the beach, so you can just drive out. Like if it's a clear night, you can just drive out at midnight and go lay on the beach. And I don't know why. There's a reason why there's no wind at night on the beach. I forget the reason, but it's a real scientific reason. And there's no wind, and you can just lay back and like see the Milky Way, look at all the stars, watch shooting stars, and just do that for an hour and then get in the car and go home. And it's one of the most magical parts about living here, which I couldn't do when I lived in a big major city. Like you would just sort of dream that was possible. But here it's all like 10 minutes away. Kim says they've actually been spotted here in North Texas. That far south? but it's basically just a pink glow on the horizon, but still had to be away from the city lights to see it. Yeah, light pollution is like a big deal. For sure. So yeah, we gotta keep track of the magic. Okay, so we got Northern Lights as a magical thing to see in real life. What else is magic? What else is like spectacular? I still find the Milky Way spectacular. Like every time I see it, I'm like, I can't believe this is in the sky the whole time. But what else do you guys have as like, oh my God, that would be incredible to see in person? I've got Northern Lights and baby elephants. Those are my main those are my main things that whenever it happens, I'm like, that's so magical. Um, yeah, what else? What else is magical? Now I'm thinking about baby elephants. David says magic is spending this hour with the amazing Helmi. Thank you, David. Oh my God, you guys. You guys. Just call me Flower Pot in your Liverpudlian accent and we'll be all good. Um yeah, David, do you have you first of all, David, have you seen the Wrexham documentary on I think it's Disney Plus. I don't know if they have Disney Plus over there. The Ryan Reynolds like buying the soccer team in Wales thing. I just want to know like how accurately did they capture that, you know? Uh oh, you want to see it. You wish you could, but it's not available in the UK, David? Okay, because basically the way they represent soccer, I mean, it's all like footage, so I assume it's real, but you never know with documentaries. Um, oh, Wade is going for the jugular with magic. I've seen two total solar eclipses. Okay, another thing that's magic. Definitely. Definitely. Solar eclipses are weird. I can see why the Mayans were like, so we're all dying, and like this means that, it's the end of the world. Like I could totally get that. Um, Katie says, I'm trying to set up a way for my sister to spend time with baby elephants. She loves them. Oh my God. Baby elephants are magic all to themselves. Um, Katie, tell me what you come up with for her because I want to do it too. But I want it to be ethical because I know there's a lot of baby elephants that are, um, it's not ethical and they're not allowed to be baby elephants regularly. So I don't want to do anything like that. But David is, oh, David says, yes, I have. It's amazing. Wrexham absolutely loves Ryan Reynolds. He's made a massive difference to them and the whole community. Yeah. So, like, I mean, that's just the craziest story ever. Like, Hollywood superstar, like, buys soccer club in Wales. But what I love about it is the idea of this community, that it's like just this thing that everybody's doing and everybody's talking about it. Is it like that in Liverpool, David? That like it's this like communal experience and like when the team loses, the community feels it, and when the team wins, the community wins. Like, is it like that? Anthony says 6 planets. 6 planets will be lining up in a straight line on February 28th. Pretty rare and magical. Holy smokes. Are you for real? 6 planets. What the what? 6. That's crazy. What does that mean? Does anyone know what that means? Like astrologically? I'm gonna Google it. Feb 28, 6 planets. It's gotta mean something. What are we supposed to be doing? Or like what's okay, it's an evening event when 6 planets will gather in the sky along the ecliptic. NASA calls it a planetary parade, and several bright planets are visible at once without optical aid. Okay. Well, that's cool. People are going to call 911 for that, Anthony. You know that, right? they're not gonna stop and ask questions. Okay, I'm just gonna see, like, does anybody know what this means for, like, astrology? So it's apparently super rare. Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune in a sweeping arc across the southwestern sky. Wow, that's magic. You guys, there's magic. Like, we just have to look for it. We just have to be open to it, but there is magic. You know what I mean? Yeah, low light pollution is essential. Okay. Google it. Yeah, I am Googling it. It's not I'm not getting too much info here. I think I'm Googling it right. What does it mean? But yeah, so much magic in the universe. That's what I love. That's the exciting part about being a person, is like you just turn a corner and you're like, oh, magic. Oh, look, like a Northern Lights painting. Every time I look at it, I'm like, magic. Okay, I don't know what this means. I can't figure out. Everything is giving me science, and I don't want science. I want astrology. Because science doesn't tell me. I'm often like watching stuff being like, can you just tell me, like I want the exposition. Like, can you just tell me what to think, or tell me, not that I don't think for myself, but like I want to hear what their opinion is. I want to hear like what they think it means. And then I want to decide if that's what I think it means. David says, I live in Southport. Ooh, a seaside resort, 10 miles from Liverpool. Wow. So do you get to go to the seaside all the time? That sounds lovely. I mean, it's like pretty far north. See, is cold water? I assume it's cold. Can't be as cold as here. This is the Atlantic. Like, it's really chilly over here. Yeah. Okay, anyways, what else do you guys have going on this week? What else is new? I have almost healed my leg wound, if anyone wants to know my latest physical achievement. Ruse says, did you know that the moon's gravity influences our dreams while we sleep by affecting our blood pressure? I absolutely did not know that. What? Because the moon like moves through like tides and waves and stuff, and then it also affects like our blood because it's liquid. Is that why? David says, unfortunately, you have to walk about 2 miles to get to the sea. That's okay. That's a nice walk. Do you go to the sea very often, David? Do you go walk on the seawall or the beach? Ruse, how did okay, the moon's gravity influences our dreams. Okay, I could see that. Like I could see why it would affect our blood pressure because we're all like made of liquid and stuff. But influences them like how? Like, does it give you better dreams or bad dreams, or does it make them more vivid or more intense or more moony, or I don't know. That's cool. I never would have thought of that, Ruse. That's weird. The moon's gravity influences our dreams. I mean, that's why I got my all my moon tattoos, because I'm like, it's got to have something, some kind of significance. I'm one of those people that when it's a full moon, I'm just like standing out there, just being like, whoa. Like, even though I've seen a million of them, I don't know, there's something with the full moon that just is so magical. Again, back to magic. Katie says, I love to hear you are healing. Hearing that makes my heart so happy. Yay. Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, my leg wound from my incision from my surgery, that was December 3rd, has been open in one spot or another. until like a couple days ago. And now I think it's almost fully healed. Like I think we're just a couple days away, which is great because I have my surgery consult appointment on Thursday and I really wanted to go to that being like I healed it. So even though it took way longer than anyone said, it's looking like we got there and we're getting there to the end of the road. David says, that's unbelievable that gravity affects our dreams. Might sleep outside tonight. Yeah. I mean, I want to know I'm going to put this in a search thing. Like, I want to research this. Because that is just fascinating on like multiple levels. David's oh, Yaffe. Hi, Yaffe. Hi, you're here. But somehow showing hubby's name. No worries. Some people have weird names on here, and I try to remember who everyone is. Kim says, found this out about the 28th. Okay, what do we got? Astrologically, this convergence of energies signals a powerful period of profound personal, emotional, and structural transformation, encouraging a reevaluation of life paths, relationships, and long-term goals. Okay. So it's just bunch of changing. Bunch of stuff is changing. Oh, and we just started the fire horse year. Is anybody feeling that fire horse energy of like don't play small anymore and stop trying to pretend that you don't want the things you want and like just start going for it. I've been feeling the fire horse since that happened. Bruce says, just like the effect on the tides of the sea. Yeah, that's what I thought. It has the same effect on blood pressure and affects our brain during sleep. Yeah, no, Bruce, I believe you. That makes perfect sense. I'm just wondering, like, how does it affect our brain? Like, do we sleep deeper, less deep? Do we dream more intensely, less intensely? Anthony says you can download a night sky app, point your phone to the star and planets, and it will identify it for you. I recommend the Stellarium app. Ooh, that's a good idea. I've always wanted one of those star apps, but I never know which one to get. Stellarium. I get it because stellar means star, and then planetarium plus stellarium. That's a very clever name for an app. Stars. Okay. Hi Yaffy, how are you? How was your week? How are you feeling? What do you need help with? What do you need a little hug from our community here with? Everybody here is lovely. Katie says, look at proving my point. Katie says, thank you for finding that, Kim. Yeah, thank you, Kim. Yeah, I didn't want to just keep scrolling and leave you guys hanging. But yeah, Kim, that's so cool that it's just a powerful period of transformation and reevaluating our life goals. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been doing that a lot lately. David says, "Oh, Helmi, you've had such a hard time with your legs. So sorry." Thank you, David. It's been a long road. Like it's close to well, I guess it's 12 weeks. Like on Wednesday it'll be 12 weeks and the wound has just now closed. So yeah, but I can put weight on it now and I can kind of hobble a bit and walk, but I'm really struggling with like my knee over toe. So my physio is like, you have to stay off it more. And I just have been using it too much because it doesn't hurt, but I gotta take it easy. I gotta baby it. She says I have to baby it more than I am. So I'm I'm under physio orders to baby it more. Kim says, sure, bring on the changes, please. LOL. So excited to hear about your healing, Helmi. That's great news. Thank you, Kim. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Yeah, it's been such a long road. And like having an open wound, I didn't think it was going to be that stressful. But it's just like an open wound, like it could just get infected. It's delicate. Your skin is open. Like your skin needs to be everywhere. And then there's like one part of your body where your skin's like, no, I'm not doing it. And then you're like, uh-oh, like I really needed you to be skin everywhere. Like if you miss even one place on your body without skin, it's terrible. So I have a newfound experience now, like respect for. I look at my hand and I'm like, look at all the skin. Look at all the skin that's skinning. Like, good job, skin. I'm grateful for things I wasn't grateful for before. Um, yeah, Kim's like ready for the changes. Yeah. So dive in, man, between Firehorse and this thing on the 28th. I didn't even know about that one, Anthony. That popped up out of nowhere. For me, I'm sure the universe knew about it this whole time. Katie says Firehorse has me saying yes to the opportunities presented to me. I am learning so much about myself through this process. Yay, Katie. That's great. Yeah, because our whole lives are like, no, no, that's okay. Pick someone else. I don't want to. I'm not ready. And Firehorse is like, it's time. Like, we're doing this. You're ready. Like, let's go. And let's see what happens if you do say yes. That's so cool, Katie. Yeah, I'm saying yes too. I'm just opening myself up, being wide open. Um Ruse says, did you notice that all the legends and stories about vampires or werewolves written after midnight or the full moon take place because the writers knew about the moon's gravity and its importance? I mean, I knew that they were all about, I knew there was a theme. No, I did not know that, Ruse. Wait, let me read that again. All the legends and stories written after the midnight or the full moon take place because the writers knew about the. I know that people have known that the full moon is like weird. And if maybe Anthony can attest to this, first responders will be like, shit gets weird on the full moon. Like there's more 911 calls, there's more crime, there's more weirdness. So I knew that, but I didn't know that they knew that it was because of gravity. How long have we known about this moon gravity thing? Katie says, hi, Yaffy. Yeah, hi, Yaffy. I'm so glad you're here. David says, listen to the physio, Helmi. Patience is so important. Yeah, I am. I am listening to her now, and I'm trying to, I've got my scooter. I still have my scooter right here. I'm always trying to ride my little knee scooter everywhere and not put weight on it, and just it's just annoying. Like it's it's hard sometimes when like you can't balance or whatever, like it like anyway, but I'm trying to put my feet up more. I'm trying to ask for help and get people to help me with stuff that I can't do myself. So yeah, so that's cool. Okay. So Ruse, like when did people know about the moon's gravity? Maybe I don't know anything about the moon. Maybe I think, hmm. I know the moon like pulls the tides and stuff. David says, I can understand it's so frustrating. You will get there. Yeah, the surgeon says 6 to 12 months, and we're coming up to months. We're just finishing month 3. So if I were walking normally in another 3 months, that would be incredible. Like I would be so happy. What is that? March, April, May. Like if by June I was walking normally, that would be incredible. Roller skating, she actually said she might let me roller skate before I can walk because the boot is so supportive that there's not much you can do when you're skating that will hurt it. So I'm hoping that maybe I'll get to skate soon. Susan says, when this is all over, I bet you're going to dance everywhere. Susan, I've been trying to dance now, and dancing on one leg, it's harder than it sounds. There's like a real limit to, especially unless you're hanging on to something. I've like tried dancing anyway, and I've had mixed results. Okay, Anthony's a paramedic. So he says we get more weirdness and psychological calls on full moon nights, Especially if it's on a Friday the 13th. What does Friday the 13th have to do with it? Because of those movies came out and people are like panicky about it? Like it's a superstition? Wow. Okay, so Ruse, your Anthony is backing you up with like, 911 evidence here. Um, so like this is a thing. Like this has been on the books for a while. I knew like at Ruse, I knew that the full moon stuff was a big deal. I just didn't think that it was because of the gravity. I thought it was just because it was big and shiny and like making just a big thing in the sky. Like I didn't know that they understood that it was gravity. Um, David says, whenever I see the full moon, I start howling. I just don't get it. It just happens. You might want to get that checked out, David. It sounds a bit wolfy. Rue says, go to the pool for physical therapy on your leg and walk slowly in the pool. Ooh, I would never have thought of that. Walking in a pool will help you recover. Okay. Kim says, February 13th is the best. I was born on Friday the 13th. Were you really? You're a Friday the 13th baby? Kim, Susan, there's 2 Friday the 13th babies in here? It's only 6 people, guys. That's a third. 33%. I was trying to think of what percent that is. Oh, Susan says, "No, my birthday's on the 13th, but it was actually a Thursday. But I like the number 13." Kim says, David, you're too funny. David, you're funny. Wade says, your knee scooter is like a big roller skate. It is. It is. And I can get going really fast on it. Like I'm whizzing around on it and I'm enjoying that. Okay, Susan says, today's my 13th wedding anniversary and we were married in 2013. Wow. 13th wedding anniversary. Congratulations, Susan. So 13 years on the 2013. Wow, that's a lot of 13. David says, oh my God, we are all doomed. LOL, just kidding. That's funny. Okay, that's a lot of 13. There we go. Rue says, every week on layout, we learn a new idea and I give you a new one. That's why I love the lively conversation on layout. What is layout? I don't even know what that is. But that's cool. That's cool. Thank you, Ruse. So the new idea is full moon magic and how it affects society. I remember as a teacher, if it was a full moon, the kids were rowdier. I don't know what it was about. I don't know if it's like psychosomatic, like you put energy into believing it and then it is true, or if it's actually a thing. Like does the like you said, does the blood pressure change from the full moon? Does that make everybody a little bit crazier than usual? Maybe that's what it is. Yeah, so in terms of life goals, learning how to walk again is like number one. But yeah, now I have more ideas. Go to the pool. I wonder where I could go to a pool. It's hard to get to a pool on crutches. Rue says, because the pool water takes up half your body weight and doesn't allow your body weight to fully exert pressure on your feet. Yeah, it's not as weight bearing. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, maybe that'll help. I'm just trying to think. It's not like driving to a pool is okay, but getting to a pool from a locker room on crutches when the floor is wet. I wish it was like Baywatch. I could just be like, lifeguard, carry me. Pick me up and carry me, take me to the pool. Crutches on slippery surfaces are like a bad combo. Wade says Monday the 13th is worse because it's a Monday, right? It's a Friday. You got the whole weekend. You guys are so funny. Everyone's on it tonight. Okay. So So yeah, let's keep an eye on what happens on the 28th. Let's look at all the stars in the sky. I just breathed wrong. Let's look at all the planets lining up. Let's reevaluate our life goals and be ready for that transformation. And think about where we can see more magic in the world, right? Full moon, solar eclipse, northern lights, baby elephants, so many. David says, can you do an extra stream in the week, Flower Pot? You know, if you call me Flower Pot, we're in trouble. I'll probably do it. Yeah, David, you tell me when you want me to go live, and I'll throw in an extra one for you. You drop a date. You can message me and or leave a comment or whatever, and I'll throw an extra one. Just because you called me Flower Pot. Sweet cakes. Okay, thank you so much for showing up tonight, everybody. It was great to connect with you. Wade says, wait until your wound is fully healed before you get in a pool. Exactly, Wade. I think that's why I haven't done it yet. Because an open wound and chlorine and whatever is a bad move. So I will wait until I get fully discharged by the wound nurse to say that I can go in a pool. Maybe I can have a bath. So many exciting options. My world is going to get bigger. Okay, so I will see you guys next week, and I hope everyone has a great week and sees some magic. Come back next week and share the magic with us. Thank you, David. Okay, bye everyone. Have a good week.